washing machine from a rental that the fill cycle wouldn't allow any cold water to pass through, and this is a fill valve. It's got a hot and a cold valve, and it's got a digital solenoid in there, or an electronic solenoid, that tells it to fill with cold water, hot water, or to mix the two. And the cold water solenoid went bad, so I ordered this part online. It was $19, and with shipping it was like another $7. It came to $25.60. These can get clogged up with debris from rusty water and whatnot, and that a lot of times is the cause of the fills to go bad. So on this particular unit, it is a Whirlpool. Whirlpool and Kenmore's are a lot alike. We try to have only those in our rental units because I can repair them myself. I looked a little bit online and got the repair manuals for them, so I'm going to show you how to change out the fill valve on this washing machine. Now on this machine, the fill valve, most Whirlpools and Kenmore's are right here on the back. There's 2 screws on the back of this Whirlpool to open up the top panel. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out. And the reason we're doing this is we're going to take and remove the cabinet so that we can access this fill valve in the back. And each machine opens up a little bit different. On a Kenmore machine that we have, the end caps snap off, and then the screws are hidden underneath that in the front part. Whirlpool and Kenmore are made by the same people. They're made by Whirlpool. And you're just going to give that a little push forward, and that's going to let you rotate that right up. Now, always a good time to clean the machine. A lot of people set their containers on top, and you can see there's this green residue from spilt fabric softener that looks like it's probably Purex or Gain. So I always like to keep a rag handy for cleaning that up. You need to move out of my way. I'm making a movie for YouTube, okay? Try not to pass through here, okay? And right here is your lid switch hookup. It plugs in right here, so you have to undo that so that you can pull this away. And just using a screwdriver, you push down on this brass latch, and it kind of, as you're pushing down on it, you can feel it's wanting to come forward and up, and that's what's holding that back panel on. So, if you are working on someone else's machine, this is just something from a rental unit, it's a good idea to put a piece of cardboard or a towel over the top so that you don't scratch up the top of the machine. And as you can see here, this panel is going to sit back a little bit. I was wondering if maybe I could do it without taking the whole cabinet off. Sometimes they can be a bit to get realigned. So I just have to take it all the way off, and on this particular fill valve, trying to show you here, there is the white connector and the red connector. You're going to want to make note of that so that when you hook it back up, then you've got it in. Good job. There's a screw nut holding it on here in the back. White on top, red on bottom. Okay. And then that just comes right out. And you're going to need a pair of pliers, or if you're very strong, you can squeeze that together to undo that. This is where the water is coming out after it's gone into the machine, and it goes through right into the washing machine tub. Give that a good tug. There's your old unit. So as you can see, old unit and new unit, just the same. This one also came with a support bracket, if you needed that. And it also came with a replacement screw for driving that onto the back. And the instructions here are saying to use this support bracket on the outside of the machine. Maybe they decided there was a recall at some point. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hook our hose back up. I'm going to want to make sure you get that clamp on. And this is a good time to check to see if your clamp is worn, because you don't, or if your hose is bad, because if the section hose is here, or if that clamp is bad, it can let loose and soak your basement. Definitely don't want that. Okay, so I glanced over just to make sure the bracket and this screw were included if this was not an exact match, so that it sat flush in here the way it's supposed to. So those are just some extra parts that were sent. I readjusted my hose here so that it was laying the way it was before. That was causing me a little kink in it, not sitting quite where it was supposed to. So place that screw back in there, and you're going to want to reattach your connectors here. Red is for hot, and the clear white is for cold. Make sure that's on there real good, because that's going to give you your connection. Just want to feed that down there so that my hose isn't kinked at all. I'll discard these parts. And then to put the cabinet back on, I just kind of lifted it up this time. But you're going to just want to make sure that it's setting flush on the edges so that that all goes in like it's supposed to there. Looks good. Take your brass hooks. There's a little slot up there. Slide it up in the back. Line it up here. And then you can just push down if you've got it lined up. There. And it just snaps right into place. I like doing these videos of me fixing washers and dryers, because I think every woman should know that she can fix her own appliances, and it's just empowering to have that ability. it up over here on this side. That should do it. Or not. This part can be tricky. I'm just kind of pushing it to the side with my foot and getting it seated where it's supposed to go. Okay, snap that down. Remember to plug in your plug switch. That's for your lid switch, because if you don't plug that in, you go through your wash cycle, and when it gets to spin, it won't continue to operate, and then you'll think you've got another problem, and you'll think, gee whiz. So, all you got to do is tighten up your screws that are here in the back, and your machine will be working with cold water, hot water, and warm water. This one was only missing the cold water, so it wasn't a huge deal. But if you had any fines, delicates, and like for us with the cloth diapers, I like to do a cold rinse. So it's nice to have that cold cycle going. And as you can see, this is all back on, put back together. And there's your brand new fill valve. I hope this helps everyone to save a little bit of money. Remember, this whole repair cost me $25 with the shipping and the part. Compare prices with your local guys. Call your used appliance salespeople. Sometimes they will sell you the parts also. This was called a water fill valve, and it does hot and cold water. Some machines only do cold. So I don't even know that they have one of these in there, but a lot of the parts are interchangeable per company because Whirlpool tends to make the parts for everybody now. Just one second. So get online, look at the parts, appliancepartspro.com. They'll answer your questions, sign into their forums, and sometimes you can just find the answer to your question right there. So good luck with your machine.